Hello friends, I'm John Laspina, the Carnivore teacher, and I used to have atrial fibrillation, Afib. About 10 years ago, I had a sinus infection, a sore throat. I was just feeling super achy, so I went to urgent care. They took my blood pressure, took my temperature, they asked me what my symptoms were. Well, I was looking for an antibiotic, thinking I might have a bacterial infection, but I was hoping they would check that because I don't really need it if it's a viral infection, which most sinus infections are. But I don't know, I wanted something. I was in so much pain. And my pulse rate was 180 beats per minute, and then it would go down to 70 beats per minute. And then it would go up to 175 beats per minute and back down to 65 beats per minute. That's what Afib is. Atrial fibrillation. There's two chambers in your heart, and the upper chamber is the atrium. And atrial fibrillation, that atrium the beat rhythm goes out of whack, and the blood pools in the atrium. And when it does that, once you go out of Afib, that blood has to eventually enter the circulation of your body, and at that point, it can coagulate, and it can cause a stroke. So people who have Afib have a higher chance of getting a stroke. They also put heart monitor on me, and they confirmed that I was in Afib. I was told by the doctor in urgent care, you better go to the emergency room right now. So I drove home, and I went on my computer and I Googled atrial fibrillation, and I read all about everything I just told you about the stroke risk. And I took my Apple Watch, and I did the heart rate thing and the Afib thing, and I confirmed, oh my God, my heart tells me, my watch is telling me it's 180 and then back down to 70. And I guess I didn't realize it because I was feeling sick. I felt yucky anyway, so I didn't realize my heart was doing that. Maybe that was part of why I felt gross. So I went to the emergency room that year, and they kept me overnight because they wanted to monitor me. They injected something into my stomach, like a shot right into my stomach, that was supposed to pull me out of Afib and into sinus rhythm. Sinus rhythm is when you have a nice normal heart rate, and it's even. It's not like this, out of whack. And they did. They put me in sinus rhythm. I stayed overnight with this sinus infection headache in the hospital. And the guy next to me was snoring. The machines in I was in the cardiac room area of the hospital. His machines were beeping and going off. The nurse kept coming in every 10 minutes to check vital. I didn't sleep at all. I needed sleep because I was sick, and I got no sleep that night. I went home. They gave me a referral to a cardiologist. I went to the cardiologist. They confirmed I was in Afib. It came and it went. So it's a type of atrial fibrillation that comes and it goes. It's called paroxysmal atrial fibrillation. And they gave me two medicines. They gave me metoprolol, which is a beta blocker, a type of blood pressure medicine, and they gave me flecainide. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And one was supposed to keep my heart rate down, and one was supposed to keep it steady. And I read the side effects of flecainide and metoprolol, and I almost had a heart attack reading the side effects, because the side effects for each of them was a paragraph long. And I said, I'm not taking this. I called the doctor and said, what else can we do? And they said, well, we can do an operation called an ablation, where they go in through your groin and they come up through your heart and they poke a hole through the chamber to get to the other side of your heart, and they scratch it and create a scar, which is supposed to make the heart rhythm stay in sinus rhythm. And then it would come back out, and there would be this recovery period. And there were all these potential complications, and it may not work. Went onto Facebook to the Afib support group, and everybody I talked to who got the ablation operation said it didn't work for them. They had to have 2 or 3 more. Very few people said it worked. Very many people said they had complications. So I said, I'm going to take the medicine. So I took the flecainide and the metoprolol. I think it was twice a day. I think I took metoprolol in the morning and at night, and flecainide once a day. I think that's how it was. And I did that, and I stayed in sinus rhythm. And I kind of felt icky and everything. after my sinus infection went away. And I think my body adjusted to the side effects. But then I started to do the ketogenic diet, right? 5 years ago. And part of doing that is you test your ketones. I have a blood ketone meter from Keto Mojo, and I tested my ketones and my blood glucose. My blood glucose should be in a fasted state, like around 65 to 99 or 100. That's a fasted blood glucose. My fasted blood glucose was over 100 all the time. And I saw that one of the side effects of metoprolol, which is a blood pressure medicine, a beta blocker, is it raises your blood glucose. And I thought, I'm trying to fix my body here. I don't want to make my body worse with this medicine side effect. I very slowly, over 2 months, or did I do it over 3 months? I think I did it over 3 months. I cut my metoprolol. I cut my flecainide pills. I halved them. I quartered them. I made the doses further apart. I had them every other day. I weaned myself off of this medicine. The cardiologist did not want me to do that, but I said, I'm doing it. I don't care. I don't recommend you do this. I'm telling you my story. I am not a doctor. Don't take anything I say right now as medical advice. I am sharing with you what I did and what is my story. I am not telling you to do this with your medicine. You make that decision on your own. So I took myself off of flecainide and metoprolol over 3 months, very, very slowly. 90 days is a long time. And I stayed in sinus rhythm for the whole next year, and the next year, and the next year, and the next year. And here we are. I am on no medicine, and I am in sinus rhythm. I am not in atrial fibrillation. I still have paroxysmal atrial fibrillation because once or twice a year, I pop into Afib for a few minutes. And I could go, oh, I could feel it. I could feel it. And I test it with my Apple Watch, and I could see, oh, look at that, I'm 160. For no reason, I'm just sitting here. And it went up to 160. So what I do is I do some deep breathing, I relax, and within a few minutes, it goes away, and it doesn't come back for another 6 months or a year without medicine. One of the reasons it does that is we have this long nerve that goes all the way up. And when you drink a lot of cold water really fast, it can do that to anybody. And if you're susceptible to Afib, apparently we do it easier. And I notice when I drink water too fast or cold water really fast, I'll pop into Afib for a minute or two. Isn't that strange? I just wanted to share my atrial fibrillation story with you. I am no longer in Afib. I still identify myself as having paroxysmal atrial fibrillation because I still pop into it every once in a while. But I'm on no medicine for it. And I honestly believe that because I'm having a carnivore way of eating, the proper human diet, whatever damage or condition that may be in the atria of my heart is healing, and I don't need it. I haven't had a sinus infection in 5 years since that last one. That was the last one I had. I haven't had a cold in 5 years. That was the last one I ever had. So eating carnivore is healthy. You can do ketovore. I recommend you not do keto too much because there's a lot of plants there with oxalates. Just eat animal products and you will feel amazing. And if you have Afib, it may settle down like mine did. So I just want to share my Afib story. Have a good day, everybody.